iFILM, London. iFILM, London.
I'd like to welcome you all to our first press conference of 2012. Could I ask everyone to turn their mobiles off, please, and turn their Twitters off and everything else, so we can get on. I think boxing is going through a very strange time at the moment. A lot of fighters don't want to fight each other. A lot of trainers and managers are happy to try and build fighters' records on nobodies. So I'm pleased to say that I'm giving the public a real fight. Two guys here who are willing to fight anybody. These two guys have got a hell of a lot to lose in this fight. John, obviously, is, as I've always said, is one of the most unluckiest fighters I've known in the history of British boxing. This man definitely beat Tyson Fury in the first time. You know, and if people say, how did I ever suffer with Lennox Lewis? I suffered more that night when he lost because I ended up having a heart attack. So, thank you, Mr. Terry O'Connor. But, you know, but he's here again and he's going again and he knows it's his last chance. David is the new kid on the block in the heavyweight division. And he knows if he loses, everyone's going to say, well, he couldn't fight. So, it's a real fight. This is a fight the public really want to see. It's a fight that we're giving to the public. It's a fight that Sky are going to be showing to the British fans. So it's to me, it's the start of a new era in boxing. And I think all the other managers and promoters have to follow this. There's no good just getting your fight to fight for a world title, which we've seen a lot of lately. British fighters being sacrificed just so people can see themselves on television and have their picture in the paper. When one of my guys goes to fight for a world title, I want him to go there to win the world title and come back. You know, and I know if one of these two guys get it, or one of these other young guys on the table, I'll introduce you to in a minute, all young heavyweights and one young cruiserweight, when they go in for a world title, they are going to be prepared, ready, and they are going to win it, and they're going to dominate the division for a long time. That's it. So what I'll do is I'll introduce, now that I've shot down everyone else in the business, because I think there's a lot of frauds in our business these days who haven't really learnt the trade proper, and it's time that, you know, the British Boxing Board maybe look at the situation, who they give licences to and which fights they approve these days. But that is my personal opinion, by the way. I'll start at the end and let them introduce themselves.
Danny Price, cruiserweight.
From Scarborough, undefeated.
David Price, heavyweight from Liverpool.
John McDERMOTT, obviously, from O'Neill.
Jason Rowland, John Schreiner.
Thomas Little from Atfield, heavyweight. Dylan White, South End in Brixton, undefeated 3-0.
And all these guys are on the bill in Liverpool, so you can see this is a real heavyweight show, you know. So the only non-heavyweight is my young man here to my right, but I think this guy is going to actually set the cruiserweight division alight. Without upsetting John, who's been very loyal to me and been very good to me, you know, I think the two prices are the future of British boxing, but this man's obviously got a lot to say to it and going to put a dent in that on January the 21st. And I'll be sitting here, if that happens, pushing this man, pushing the old boy actually. So what I'm going to do now is just throw the floor open for questions.
David, who gave you the black eye? Is it all right?
Yeah. It's occupational hazard. I've just finished my sparring today. That's part of the reason why I'm a little bit late, which I apologise for, but I didn't realise how difficult it was to get into central London, and my promoter didn't give me any address or nothing there to get the message. I got a message 20 minutes ago with the address, so that's just an occupational hazard. I've just finished my sparring anyway, and you know, everything's gone well. So.
How did the sparring go? I mean, Chisora was speaking yesterday, he was singing your praises, says you're the most improved heavyweight in the country, and he was surprised how hard you punch.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was just good sparring. I mean, I know I need a good sparring because I know this fight's going to be the toughest of my career so far. And you know, I know John McDermott's a good, strong fighter, so I needed the quality, and I got it. So ideal.
David, do you feel you have to push your career along a bit more than you have done, say, last year, this year?
But that's not my job, is it? That's Frank's job. So, you know, I was unfortunate to get the injury which postponed the original fight, and I think John would agree himself that we're probably sick to death of the thought of each other, because all we must do is think about each other when we're in the gym, and finally it'll get settled next Saturday, and you know, all being well, we're there now. You know, aside from some type of freak accident, such wood.
Nick, I'd like to come in on that. Sorry. You know, there's a way of handling a career. You know, you see Tyson Fury fighting regular, but he's actually fighting bums, so he's not learning nothing, and he's not going in the gym and learning. David Price, under his trainer Franny, has spent a lot of time in the gym, has had very good quality sparring, has been to America, and is actually learning the trade. And I believe on this table we have experience of producing good heavyweights. We know how it's done. Lennox Lewis was taken along at the same pace. This year, David Price, all goes well on January the 21st, you will see him win the British title, the Commonwealth title, and be in a position to fight for the European title. But again, as I said, this man on my left could throw a spanner in, and it could be him doing it. So, and he's learnt his career the same way. He's had some good fights and tough fights. Anyone can build a record fighting bums, and that's the problem with British boxing at the moment.
David, John, are you going to throw a spanner in the works?
Well, I'm into. That's the idea. I've trained hard for this fight. I've done it any one of my fights. I know it's my last shot. If I want to carry out in boxing and do well, it's my last shot, and I've trained like it's my last shot. I'm going to give it one way or the other. I'm going to give it all that I have.
Has the delay helped you, John? Because it does say third time lucky, doesn't it? Has it given you more time to prepare?
It doesn't really bother me. I was fit the first time, and I'm still fit the third time, so it makes no difference to me. You know, I've trained hard every fight I've ever had, but this time I know this is my last chance. I know David's a good fighter. I've got all respect to work with David. Let's be honest, you don't win an Olympic medal because you're no good. So I've trained hard as I could, be the best as I can in the gym, and hopefully, please God, with a bit of luck, I can go and win on the Saturday night.
How's training been going, Jason? How's training been going?
Yeah, very good. I think it took time to get to know you fighters. I'm glad it was cancelled the first and second time. It's given me probably 6-7 months now, isn't it? So it's given us a little bit more time to get to know each other and work on different things. And yeah, everything seems to be going well.
John, how do you compare David to Tyson Fury?
I don't actually know really. I think obviously they're both tall, they're both same sort of size. They both fight similar because they're so tall. So I think I deal with Tyson Fury okay. The second time I boxed him, as David knows, because I was arranged to spar with David, I got glandular fever about 2 weeks before, and I spoke to David on the phone because I arranged sparring to come to Liverpool. But I was so ill, I just couldn't spar at all, and I needed the fight, needed the money, so I had to fight. But they're obviously similar because they're both same sort of size. I've trained the same way I did for one. I've done the other.
I may be having a senior moment here, David, but Liverpool produced so many great fighters. I can't think of a British heavyweight champion out of Liverpool.
Well, that's true. There's never been a British heavyweight champion, so that's what the aim is, to be the first ever British heavyweight champion from Liverpool.
It's astonishing now when you think of all the fighters.
It is, yeah, it is. But it's an added incentive for me because, you know, it'd be a great achievement to be the first from the city.
Any more questions for any of the or we're doing one-to-ones?
Danny, where do you want to be in the next 12 months?
I want to be up there fighting for a British title, definite. Obviously, see how I progress and see what happens, but definitely up there British title level, if not fighting for it.
Dylan, what do you know about your opponent?
I know his name, I know that he's fought on 2 of the guys on the table here, and that's it really. Not much.
Just for anyone, guys who don't know, this is Franny, David's trainer. So if there's any questions you want to ask about how the training's been going and what they've been doing over the last 2 years,
yeah,
feel free.
Danny, were you disappointed you didn't get onto the Olympic squad?
I was, yeah. I was, if I'm honest. Like I say, everything happens for a reason, but I was, because I felt I was the best heavyweight, and I still do. I think I was the best heavyweight they had. But you know, that's their decision. I got beat in the European Championships by the world number 4, and that was it. You know, I think Robert Cannon's a great coach, but he was saying to me like in the February that I've got the world at my feet. I can do this, I can do that, and then 3 months later telling me I'm off the squad and I can't do it. You know, it was disappointing, but.
Was that a shock to you to be sort of off the squad?
It was a bit of a shock because I'd come on the squad and I was obviously right behind the two that was already on there. Yeah. The result, I got the results all through the year. Beat some good lads. Then got to number 1. Went to the Europeans. Got beat by a Russian. Which is no disgrace. And then that was it. He said you can't do it. So it was a bit of a surprise.
Joshua got beat in the Europeans. Yeah, he's still.
Yeah, Joshua, he's good in order. He's a lovely kid. A lot of people got beat out there, but if your face don't fit, I suppose.
Yeah.
True answer.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we'll do the one-to-ones with TV and radio now.
iFILM, London. iFILM, London.